Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Joyride podcast. I'm your host, Rebekah Joy, and I am so excited to be bringing on my first guest for this second season, Erika Polsinelli, who is seriously one of my absolute favorite human beings, truly. I love her so much. We have this mutual love and just obsession for one another. I met her last year. I actually had reached out to her about giving her a reading when I'd first launched my coaching business, and we connected during that first session. And since then, she has truly just been such a pillar of support for me. She has shown me an immense amount of love and gratitude and appreciation for me and what I do. And I find that to be incredibly rare to have someone that is just this constant just pillar of support and just really like a cheerleader for me. She is always just validating me and giving me praise and recognition, and I am just so in awe of her and this beautiful life that she has built for herself, this beautiful, expansive business that she has created for herself, and I'm so excited to be bringing her on the podcast today. So let me share a little bit about Erika and about Evolve by Erika, which you will obviously hear more about in today's episode. After seeking a way to manage her anxiety and stress, Erika stumbled upon Kundalini meditation and breath work, and after only 3 minutes of practice, she was hooked. She immediately felt a relief and a state of peace that she had never experienced before, and because of this, she knew that she had to share this far and wide. Erika is certified in Kundalini yoga, breathwork, and meditation, and she helps to make an ancient practice accessible and approachable to all. She combines this with mindfulness techniques, gratitude, and manifestation practices, helping to uncover your highest potential. Many people often say they were never able to meditate before trying one of Erika's classes. She is a way of breaking down meditations and breath work so that you can finally calm your mind and your body. In a session with Erika, you will feel empowered, focused, and at peace. Imagine finding a way to dissolve any stress and tension from your body. Evolve by Erika is an online platform and app that helps individuals to discover inner bliss by releasing stress and tapping into their highest potential.
Oh, can we do a little tune in first?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
yes.
Let's just tune in. It will just wash everything else away.
Amazing.
Okay. Just take a few long, slow, deep breaths. We could clear any energy from the day and get focused in this conversation and allow anything that's meant to come through for your listeners. And we'll take a big deep breath in, and on the exhale, we'll chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo, and we'll do that 3 times, bowing to the divine wisdom within. Inhale. Oh, okay. I feel ready now whenever you are.
I'm definitely keeping that in. 100%.
So powerful.
The listeners are going to get the live experience. Do you find that your members of your community, can you sense this almost blockage from doing this live? Are they apprehensive to share their voice, to do the chanting with you, Does that make sense?
Interesting. I personally, when I first started teaching, I would get not embarrassed, but I would be apprehensive to share the chants with people who have never meditated before, because I can understand how chanting is just a little intimidating or unfamiliar. Just something that isn't part of many people's everyday. And there have been moments where I'm like, "Ugh, am I going to chant with this group? Am I going to start by chanting?" And every time it's a yes, because of the space it creates within ourselves. And as we practice it, that space, we tap into it so much deeper and quicker. But I do know, a lot of community members have said, I'm doing the meditations like beginners. I'm doing the meditations. I haven't started chanting myself yet, But it's so important to hear your own sound and use
Hmm.
your sound as a sound healing for your soul and this awakening remembrance of who you truly are at a soul level. So, like, we're, I guess, we're more comfortable with sitting for a sound healing or a sound bath or playing an instrument or whistling or humming or whatever it may be, or singing a song that we know from the radio or Spotify, whatever. And, we're not as comfortable to start chanting these like ancient sounds that connect us with this universal energy just because it's unfamiliar. But I think as they dive into the practice, step by step, you get more comfortable and you realize the shift that it presents for you.
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
view it as just another form of self-expression,
Yeah.
which is what it is. It allows you to tune in, but at the same time, like you have to flex that muscle and you have to train yourself to become comfortable. I remember when I first started chanting, I was like, this is fucking weird. Because it is. Like,
Yeah.
first time chanting, even if you're at home alone and no one's around,
Yeah.
I'm like, are my neighbors going to hear me? What's
Yeah.
happening? And now I'm like, let's go. Let's chant. Let's do it.
Literally, I know. I remember the first times that I was chanting in my apartment, and my husband would be like in the bathroom getting ready. At the time we weren't married, but he'd be in the bathroom getting ready, and I would be chanting. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what I'm saying. And God
Yeah.
knows what's going through this guy's mind while he's in the bathroom getting ready, hearing these sounds that he's never heard before. But it's actually, there's so much science behind mantra and what it's doing to our brain and our body. The way I can describe it in my experience is truly bringing every cell, every part of our system together in
Mm,
synchronicity, in this harmony. It just brings everything moving in the same direction. And there's unbelievable science through sound. But Om Namo Gurdev Namo, which we started with, is I bow to the divine wisdom within. We don't
mm,
even need to know what it means for it to work. That's how much our soul resonates with it. And it's believed that Ong was the sound that started the universe. Like the universe was created, Earth was developed through a sound frequency and a sound vibration, and the sound was Ong. So we're tapping into that every time we tune in.
Whoa, wait.
Yeah.
My mind is blown. Is it Ohm or ONG?
Ong, ONG.
No, I never knew that.
Yeah.
This whole time I thought it was Ohm.
Yeah, because Om is like, I think the most popular
Yeah,
mantra that people have
okay.
heard or sound. But yeah, it's Ong, Ong.
Okay, so if I was saying Ohm, am I still getting the power?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
that's the
cool.
other thing. That's the other thing. Like, even if you're not saying the mantras completely correctly, you're still getting the benefits of it, which is just wild.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, on that note, welcome, Erica. We kind of just like hopped right into the podcast, but welcome to the Joyride podcast. I'm so excited to have you on. You are truly one of my absolute favorite people, and I say that from the depths of my soul, truly.
Love you.
We have this like we just have a bond. We have a
We
connection.
do. We
Like
do, because I feel the same. I
this
feel the same
mutual
about you.
obsession. Yeah.
I
And
know. I know.
you to me are just such a beautiful embodiment of what it means to be a light and a channel for other people. So we're going to get into so much in regards to like who you are and your story, but I would love to hear from you in this present moment, like if you could share a little bit about who am I and what I give to people. What does that look like today? Like not 5 years ago, not even 5 months ago, but like Erica today.
Yeah. So, I have chills. Thank you. And I truly feel the same about you. I love following you. I love seeing what you're up to. I
Yeah.
love when you go off. Um, you're just incredible. But who I am today, it's wild because when you're on this journey of evolution and growth, you are changing at such a rapid pace. And I love that you're asking who I am today because it just really hones in on so much of the growth that's taken place over the last few years for me. But I think who I am today is a person who's so accepting of where everyone's at in their journey and someone who wants to share practices to help others acknowledge the power that truly lives within them. And there's not much more we need other than recognizing that we have this power. And we just need to find our entryway of awakening it and accessing it. And for some people, it's all different modalities. It could be fitness, it could be movement, it can be breath work, it could be mantra, like we just were talking about. It could be a specific way that your body wants to consume food in order to reach this elevated state, whatever it is. I do it through Kundalini. I share the powerful ancient practice of Kundalini, which has completely rocked my world and changed my life. And I believe that by sharing this, I'm helping people to awaken to their truth, to go beyond what they've believed because they've been taught or conditioned or programmed, and really be able to tap into their truth on a soul level and release the rest so that they can live on their highest soul path and their destiny.
Mm, so good. So good. You're just a light worker. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you stumbled across Kundalini, which I had different experience, but I stumbled across human design a few years ago and I felt the same exact way. Like, holy shit, this just rocked my world. I need to find out more for myself. And then I decided to share the system with people. I just recently started studying Kabbalah and I have felt the same way, like, oh my gosh, this is completely changing everything about my life. So I want to go back to 10 years ago. What were you doing? What type of person were you? Were you with your husband? Were you not with your husband? Like, were you someone that was interested in spiritual practices? Like, I want to go way back.
Yeah, so actually, 10 years ago, I was with my husband. We were just partying our asses off,
Mm,
drinking a lot, doing a lot of things.
mm,
A lot of things that I don't partake in much now. But I was living like a quote unquote at the time, a normal 25-year-old's life.
mm,
Going out, consuming lots of alcohol, and but also at the same time, I had graduated with my master's in special education. I was an elementary school teacher at the time. I was teaching in the Bronx in New York City, and
mm.
it was a really interesting experience, but I was not taking care of my body at all. I was barely sleeping because I wasn't prepared for the job. It's funny, like school and education is one thing, but when you get out and actually do what you've learned, it's a whole different learning curve. And I literally was just like, oh my gosh. And when you start, you're just so excited to like make a change and do the best you can do. And then you enter a system that's like a lot of people aren't on that frequency.
Right.
Because they're either beat down by the system or just not as naive or optimistic. So I was teaching, I was spending a lot of nights going out. My husband and I were just starting to hang out a lot more, be together. I experienced health anxiety for most of my life. And at this point, I absolutely experienced it. And I would self medicate with alcohol. So anytime I was drinking, I was finding a state of peace in my mind, or so I thought. And I had a workout routine. I was always into fitness. My south node is in Virgo. So I
Mm,
came into this life being aware of like the physical body and taking care of the physical body and exercising and all of those things, eating quote unquote well. But yeah, I struggled with a lot of anxiety and I would self-medicate through alcohol and do other things that would just help me feel good in the moment. Um, and eventually, so fast forward, so that's about 2014. By 2017, I started to experience the awakening process, and that was during my Saturn return.
mm. Okay, so walk us through that.
Yeah.
Was Kundalini like the first
No, no, no,
way,
no,
or what
no.
was it?
So I I was going through a hard time because my husband at the time was an addict and he was in and out of rehabs.
Mm,
I knew the moment I met him that I was in love with him. I knew that we were meant to be together. He's very magnetic. He has a really powerful aura. And through my drunken state, I swear I spotted his aura at the bar and was like, that guy is my soulmate.
Love it.
Um, so at the time, he was trying to get treatment, struggling with a drug addiction. And I was trying to find my way. So I would go to Soul Cycle a lot. And in the dark room with the movement, the exercise, the music, it would bring me, it was the closest thing I can get to meditation at the time because I did not come from a
Mhm.
family that was emotionally intelligent or practicing meditation at all. We could have all used it, but that's not my upbringing at all. So I would go there and after, um, I would say he finally went away once and for all, became sober. And then after that, I started to experience a peak of my health anxiety. And
Mm.
while my health anxiety was peaking, I started to recognize that there was a very big difference in the state that I was living in versus my husband. My husband was living a very present life at the time, very clear. And I just started to see this contrast of how some people
Mhm.
live without anxiety and how I was living. And I started to recognize I needed help. From there, I was guided to go plant-based, and I was doing like a 30-day experiment of going vegan. But what happened was it catapulted me into this very high frequency, something about consuming a lot more vegetables and fruits at the time and not meat products changed something within me. And during that time, I also moved by the ocean, by the beach. So I was spending a lot of time there. I think like these elements supported me in
Mhm.
finally recognizing that there's more to life than just what meets the eye. And I was ready to dive into spirituality. And I started to feel like this overwhelming sense of gratitude within me and this connection to like the sunsets and the beach and just nature to one another. And from there, I started journaling. I started to be guided to a lot of people that had strong spiritual practices in my life, friends that came into my life all of a sudden that were sharing things with me, teaching me things. And then from there, Kundalini literally popped up on my page one day on my Instagram. And it's way before there were like any even ads or the phones were listening to us, like way before that. Like nothing was popping up really. And this came up on my page and I just got a hit and I was like, I think that I need this. And I messaged my friend who was a really huge guide for me at the time. I screenshotted it and I was like, what do you think? Do you think this is legit? And she's a psychic intuitive. And she would say to me, she's like, the day you find Kundalini, holy shit, like your head's just gonna like blow, like you're just gonna be levitating. She saw it for me because she sees soul plants, but I'd be like, Kunda, what? Like what?
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. But she let me find it in my own time on my own because that's truly what the practice is like. You get that invitation, you start to be drawn to it. So before she could answer my text, I was already in the first breath work and I felt euphoric. I couldn't believe that I finally felt this space of calmness and peace within me that I would pray, like, can I
Mm.
just feel calm? I remember my grandpa passing away and be like, I know that now that he's on the other side, he's going to alleviate this for me. Like he's going to help me. Like I was so desperate to finally be able to overcome the fearful thoughts and the anxiety, the panic attacks I was experiencing. And the practice really helped me to overcome that and a consistent practice. I started 3 to 5 minutes every morning before I went to teach for the day. And I just noticed a dramatic difference in myself, my energy, my perspective. And it would be different on the days I practice versus when I didn't. So I was like, I just got to stick with this. There's something
Mhm.
definitely here for me.
The pings are so real.
Yeah.
And you use this phrase a lot. I was guided. Can you give us a little bit of an explanation for listeners that are like, what the heck does that mean? Like, I'm guided to this.
Yeah. So we all are intuitive beings. We all have the glands in our body that actually help us to activate our intuition. So it's a very physical approach to something very ethereal and otherworldly, but it lives within us. And there were things along my journey that my intuition really came up and showed me. So when I'm guided, that could mean I saw something 3 times in a row and was like, okay, I have to try this because why does this random thing keep coming up?
Mhm.
Or I see it, I hear it, then it pops up. It's like taking the signs, being aware of what's being presented to you and noticing them, and then internalizing that to be like, is this something that I should follow? And then getting the nudge, yes, would mean I was guided to it. So sometimes it comes in the form of just seeing something repetitively, or you hear something once and you're like, oh my gosh, it's like that ping,
Yeah.
and you just follow it.
Yeah. It's the ping that lands.
Yeah.
It just, I've always said, like sometimes I'll just come across something or I hear something once and I'm like, it just landed in me and
Yeah.
it just did something to me. And to make this physical, if you are someone that sees angel numbers a lot, or you're like, listen, I keep on attracting the same type of unemotionally available men, like that's a pattern. Like you will be seeing these things over and over and over again until you cut that cord or you decide enough is enough, which it sounds like you experienced when Kundalini truly invited you in, like so projector of you.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest invitation to rock your world,
Yeah.
open up your spirit. And I love that. Okay, so you find Kundalini. Who are you learning from? And then how do you create something of your own, which is now Evolved by Erica?
Yeah. So I was practicing solely online. I found two teachers from California, Britt and Tara, and they were sharing online because they recently experienced this huge awakening from the practice as well. From there, like I said, I would practice every day. Eventually, I went to training because I knew that I didn't want to be an elementary school teacher for the rest of my life. I was pursuing administration. I became certified to either be a superintendent, a principal, something of that sort, but I wasn't sure about my next path. And once I started to awaken spiritually, I knew I wanted to do something to empower others to wake up to their power and really identify and see the power that lives within. So I decided to start a 9-month intensive training, Kundalini training in New York City. I live on Long Island, so I would drive in each weekend and drive back and forth for the weekend to go to this training. And I signed up a week late. I love sharing that piece because it was just so meant to be. Like it already started, which made me so certain I needed to be part of it because of the FOMO I
Mm-hmm.
was having after knowing it started. And then them accepting me into the class a week after it already started. It felt just so aligned. So I started that in 2018. And the second day, I remember telling my husband, like, I'm signing up for this training. It's going to require a lot of my time and energy, but I know that I'm meant to be there. And I know that from here, I'm going to just have more clarity on what I'm really here for.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but I'm not going to be a yogi. I'm not going to be a Kundalini teacher. Like, don't worry. We're not going to have to tell my parents or your parents that I'm quitting my job to be a Kundalini yogi. And spoiler alert, that's what happened. Day 2 of the training, I got the biggest download. Name Evolve came to me. The structure of how I would share while still working as a teacher came to me. Like I just knew I had to share this and do it as soon as possible. So I started sharing on Instagram Memorial Day weekend of 2018. And I launched my subscription membership July 1st of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a significant amount of signups the first month or two. And I actually was listening to a podcast today that they say that there's a specific number that like resonates as proof of concept. Like if you have this number in the beginning, it's like shows that you're doing it for a reason and that people want it and people need it. And I was reflecting and I'm like, I definitely like saw that when I first started. It was a very small number.
Yeah.
Um, Probably under 40, but it was just really affirming to me that like wow, okay, like people are seeing this, hearing this, they're seeing the change in me, and I can't wait to share it with them. So each month I would release a new meditation, and then it just continued to grow, and I feel so grateful to be able to share in this way. And as a projector, like having a community that can see me for the gifts that I'm here to share is so fulfilling. And to be
Mhm.
able to take something that just completely transform my inner and outer world and give that back to the world is like a dream come true, truly.
So day two.
Day
Day
two,
two. That's
day two.
crazy.
And let me explain like the there is so much power in setting time aside to go on a retreat or to sign up for a training or to go to a workshop because the container is being created for you to just sit and participate and
Mhm.
open yourself. So I was sitting there as a student, just completely open to receive the information that was taught by the teacher. But something else came through, like since I was sitting there open to receive and not producing anything, the biggest download of my life came through. And I felt it come right through my body from my crown. So there, if anyone's listening and they're contemplating signing up for a workshop, going to a class, going on a retreat, like you never know the space you're going to create and what's going to fill that space by creating it.
100%. And I
Yeah.
think you primed your vessel 100%.
Yes.
You knew like signing up a week late and getting so much FOMO and like going about the process that way and then knowing I have to be here to get such a significant download on day two, like that's it. Because I was even thinking about this morning as I was watching one of the Kabbalah courses. Like, what do we do when we have this message to share, but we know that like most people aren't ready to hear it,
Yeah.
you know?
Mental projector problems.
Like I was thinking about that. I mean, it's a constant message that I don't know if I'm battling myself with, but I'm like, okay, I have these gifts and I have these systems and I want to share them with people. And to me, I think that's the hardest part of business. It's just
Yeah.
finding the people. That's the hardest part of life. It's finding your tribe, it's finding your community. But does that stop us from sharing our gifts, even if people haven't primed their vessel and they don't have that open space to receive?
It's such a good question. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately because with the Evolve community, there's a lot of entry points. There's people who come because they just need to calm their nervous system. There's people who come because they feel like they've had a spiritual awakening and they want to be telepathic. Like it goes from like A to Z, And it's what I found to be the most important thing is sharing what you feel guided to share in an authentic way. Like
Mhm.
just finding the most authentic way to share it. And for the people and being a projector, like you can relate to everything I'm saying and what I've had to learn. It's like it's going to land for the people it's meant to land for. It might trigger the people it's not meant to.
Amen.
Um, yeah, but I think it's finding a balance of what you feel good about sharing, of what your nervous system can handle sharing
Hmm.
because when we put something out, there will be feedback back, and some will be positive, some will be negative. We're on the planet of polarity. We're going to receive both. And it's like, what can you handle to share? And doing that in a very authentic way. And allowing it to land and attract in who you want it to. Because if we're not doing what's authentic to us, we're not going to attract the people that really want to learn from us or be connected to us or follow us or whatever it may be.
100%. I'm like, if you're not going to be authentic, what's the point? Three through three, as I say that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And it's
what's
just
the
like,
point?
yeah. And just do what makes you happy. Like, truly, like, do what
Yeah.
lights you up because from there, you attract so much more of that energy and feeling.
100%. So with Kundalini, there's Kundalini meditation, there's Kundalini breath work, there's Kundalini yoga. Now, you're doing all three, right? Is
Yeah.
there like a strong difference between each one, or have you created like your own system? I mean, obviously you learn Kundalini, but then we take it and we make it our own. So, how does that work for your members?
So, Kundalini, it's all under the umbrella of Kundalini yoga.
Mm,
But when people think about yoga in the United States, they're thinking about a vinyasa flow or something like that.
Downward dog.
Yeah, yeah. So Kundalini yoga consists of the pillars of movement, breath work, meditation, and mantra. It includes those four pillars. And I personally have really shared so much of the breath work. Like I was very breath work heavy in the beginning of my journey because that was my gateway.
Mm,
And my members have access to it all. They have access to Kundalini breathwork meditations, Kundalini mantra meditations, breathwork mantra, Kundalini yoga breathwork mantra, like all the variations. I have something for literally everyone and anyone based off of how long they want to practice, what they want to practice, etc. But it's an ancient practice that has known to be around for thousands of years that
mm,
it can date back to literally like Jesus and Buddha practicing some of these mudras, breath works, meditations, and practices, which is really wild. And it came to the United States in, I believe, the 60s, 70s.
mm.
And it's so important to have during the times that we're living in. It was actually brought here with the anticipation of this age of information we're living in right now, or the shift to the Aquarian age, if you've heard of those two
Right.
concepts. So it was brought here by Yogi Bhajan to assist us through this time.
Hmm. I just made this
Chills.
connection with the name of your business, like evolve. Like as the world evolves, you are teaching people how to evolve every step of the way, because that's what we are here to do, continuously evolve and grow and expand. And this is such an incredible tool to be able to, just activate yourself.
And the practice is doing that. I'm a messenger.
Right.
I know the teachings, I share the teachings, but the practice is helping you, whoever's practicing, to evolve in the way that you're meant to in this moment in time. I was recently saying that I see these meditations as like adaptogens. Like we
Mm,
get them, we do them. You and I can do the same meditation, and you're going to experience whatever healing you need from that. And I'm going to experience whatever healing I need, even though we might be doing a meditation to calm the heart or meditation for stress relief. We're going to get that and whatever else we need on
mm-hmm.
an individual level, which is so freaking cool. It's like it really is a scientific technology that works with your physical body, the endocrine system, but also your soul.
Mm. You can tell that you have a background in education for sure. Like, because you bring up so much knowledge around this practice, which I think is so powerful because, yes, we can come across something, oh, this is so amazing, but can you sell it to someone, right? Like, this is a business at the end of the day. Like, yes, you're here to give and you are, holding the space for people, but we actually need to make sure that we are, I don't know, bringing people in an integral way and that it's sustainable.
I never, especially when I was starting, I never once looked at it as selling to anyone. And that to me is like the coolest part about it because
Yeah.
I just feel so grateful to be able to share this. And
Yeah,
if anything, I'm like, I need to convince people to just try it because then they'll see, they'll be able to
totally.
understand. But it's really this space, like the practice sells itself. If you try it and you stick with it, and it doesn't have to be for an extended period of time a day. I started 3 to 5 minutes every morning, and I literally had a full-blown spiritual awakening.
Mm,
Like, and of course, like after a while of practicing 3 to 5 minutes, you're like, wait, I don't want to leave. I want to stay for 11. I want to stay for 20.
mhm,
That happens too, because your body gets so comfortable in that state. But yeah, gratefully, I truly never had to look at it that way. And I'm just like, it's more of, I think now it's more of like, how do I help people to understand their power and show them that this is a way that could really, really help
mhm,
access that power. And it's, being creative with social media, always finding different ways to connect and make it
mhm.
relatable. It's a journey. It's a freaking journey, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I love everything that you share. And I love I think one of the biggest, I don't know, takeaways that I've gotten when I work with clients or just like sharing about human design myself or any system that I come across is like, okay, it's one thing for you to sit in the meditation. Like when I'm working out, you know that I'm a big workout girl. I'm in the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I love it. It's like everything to me. But what happens after that? It's like, who is Rebekah outside of the gym? Who is Erika outside of the 20, 30 an hour long meditation? Like, can you just share more about how it's really seeped into every aspect of your life, which I know that it has, but I want people to hear how, like, yes, it's about the practice, but it's not about the practice at the same time. It's about the rest of your life.
I have chills. And I was actually just on a call earlier where we were talking about this. It's so funny how, these ideas or these things that you may be thinking of, so many other people are, because we're all connected
Mm-hmm.
in this collective consciousness. It's like these same thoughts that come up. So I think of it as embodiment and integration. So, on my meditation mat, when I'm doing a challenging meditation of breath work with my arms over my head, where I'm like, this can feel really challenging some days. I know that that is priming my system. It's priming my mind. It's priming my nervous system for when I experience a challenge off my mat in life. And I literally, like, you will hear me take shots of breath throughout the day. Like, I'll just take a,
Love it.
and that alone for me, because I practice so much, that's a meditation right there. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
received the benefits of meditation by taking that breath because my body knows what that breath gives to me because of the practice. So, it's not just about showing up to your meditation and being like, check on my self-care list.
Yeah.
I did meditation today. It's I show up to my meditation mat because I want to specify, I show up on my meditation cushion before I do anything else. Sometimes go to the bathroom first if I really have to. Otherwise, it's my bed to my cushion, and I'm there to clear subconscious shit that is
Mhm.
piled up in me just by being human. Cancel clear because I've cleared a lot of it. It's not piled up in me, but it piles up.
Right.
And these things pile up if we're not taking out our own trash and our own garbage. So I show up every day to clear the trash can, to get out the past events that I may be holding on to emotionally. Um, Maybe there's trauma. Maybe there's a belief that I've picked up along the way that actually isn't serving my highest self. I go to my mat. I spend time there to do the subconscious work through breath work because it actually distracts the left side of the brain, the one that wants to think constantly, and dips into the right, the subconscious and intuitive side, and heals, literally heals it by distracting us with the breath work or meditation, whatever it may be. And I release that out. So now when I go through my day and I come in contact with other people, I'm not projecting my subconscious waste on them.
Mhm.
I'm actually projecting the truth of my soul instead. And in my relationships, I'm not responding from my past relationships into my present one because then I'd be creating a past relationship. I'm
100%.
not responding from a place of my parents' relationship because I've healed a lot of that within me. And I can come as Erika, Erika's soul, who's meant to be here and have this higher, more conscious experience because I put that work in the morning. And
Mhm.
it trickles into every single part of the day. And you're right, you embody it. And the breath is with you throughout the day. So you start to practice your breath work in the morning. And then your one breath becomes so much more powerful and potent that when stress does arise, it's like, back to that same energy that I held this morning. And you tap
Mhm.
into that highest frequency first thing of the day. So you elevate your baseline and your tolerance and your resistance to stress. You're not going to dip so low as soon as one stressful event happens. It's going to take a while, a
Mhm.
lot longer for you to really feel that stress because you've primed your system. So it's just an embodiment. It really is.
Yeah. embodiment and integration.
Yeah.
Percent. And I love that you use the word priming because I actually just like an hour ago posted an Instagram story about I literally used the word priming. I
See?
posted a
I'm
photo of me
telling
in
you.
the gym and I
That's
was
it.
like, this is what I do every single day to prime myself. I
Yeah.
have to do something emotionally, spiritually, physically. I have to prime myself. I like guys, we have so many resources nowadays.
Oh
Try
my
out
gosh.
Kundalini, try out just there are so many resources at our fingertips. There is no excuse for you to feel like shit.
No.
There just is no excuse. Like
Nope.
there are so many things that you can try and experiment with. There are so many teachers and healers and people that are here to support you so that you can be your best self outside of the thing. And so you can embody this energy of being proactive and not reactive. Because so many people are just projecting their shit onto us.
I want to add one thing about that because not only do we have so many resources, I think we also, in order to step into this path, know that we're worthy of
Mm,
really living connected to our soul, living a life of bliss and ease. It doesn't mean that won't be challenges. It just means you have this connection to divine and source. And that you really are so powerful and you need to know that and believe that. And then from there, it's like now the world is your oyster. We're living in
mhm,
the age of information, Aquarian age. There are so many resources, so many modalities, and listen for the pings. See what keeps coming up for you and then take action on it. Try it because you just may not believe how much it can transform you and shift your life.
totally. And I think that for so many of us, we don't believe that because we've never like given into these experiences.
Yeah.
Like I'm so grateful that I fell in love with the gym. To most people, they're like, okay, this bitch loves the gym. I'm like, no, this like saved my life and it built my confidence. And since then, I've just experimented with so many other modalities, meditation, different types of activation, but you have to lean on these things in a sense.
Yeah.
It's so hard for so many of us to just wake up every day and think, I'm so worthy. I'm so valuable. Like we
Yeah.
are, 100% we are. We were created by this creator, ultimate life force, basically. But at the same time, we have these resources that helped reflect back the light onto us. That's what it's about.
Exactly. Yep.
So when you were going through this transition of you're now no longer in the education system and you're moving into doing this full time, what did your family and friends think?
Okay. So I had to do so much clearing and
Yeah.
reprogramming of my subconscious beliefs. Like my parents just wanted me to have a secure job. Like that's
Mm,
literally all they wanted for me, like to be healthy and have a secure job and be able to, like for them to know I was taken care of and I would always be okay and have shelter and all the essentials. So I had to really do a lot of healing, clearing, reprogramming. I had to do a lot of preparation for my family. I probably prepped them for 2 years, just being like,
mm,
this isn't, I'm not going to be there forever. Like I'm literally leaving my job. And they'd be like, oh, like all their own fear was stirred up inside of them. And
right.
then that's what they would share with me. And I noticed that too with a lot of people who I would tell my plan to. It wouldn't be necessarily a concern for me, but really a reflection of their own fears and maybe what has kept them in their job and
Mhm.
whether they wanted to be there or not. And I started to realize sometimes I would open these conversations up where I felt like I had to like prove to these people that I would be able to do it. And almost hear the opposing argument just to make sure I was clear. But then I realized that first of all, the entrepreneurial journey isn't for everybody and it's a lot. Like it's
Oh
it's
my
an
God.
interesting journey. It's beautiful, it's amazing. I wouldn't want it any other way, but it takes a lot of discipline and focus and um trial and error and just
Mhm.
kind of figuring it out on your own. And thankfully I work with my intuition and the divine realm, which is my number one support. But Yeah, everyone, I would say, believed in me
Mm,
because I believed in myself. And I think I did have that on my side. But definitely it brought up a lot of fear for a lot of people who love and care about me.
yeah. I just had this download come through of, I mean, I feel very similar to what you just explained in regards to like my I mean, my parents believe in me. They've always believed in me. My mom, I've given her a reading. She's open to it. My dad is like, "So you're gonna tell me like when I'm gonna die?" I'm like, "Dad, it doesn't work like that." But I'm now at this point where I'm like, this is who I am and this is what I
Yeah.
do. I'm a teacher, I'm a healer, this is what I do, blah blah blah. But at the same time, hearing you say that people were projecting a lot of their fears onto you, like what we experience from someone else is also what needs to come up for ourselves.
Yeah.
So like I see triggers as the most beautiful, it's almost like rocket fuel. Like
Yeah.
you like anything that you're triggered by, whether it's this person's living the life that I want, they're making the money that I want, they have the relationship that I want. It's like we are all just mirrors for one another. So, yes, people were projecting their fears and inner rejection onto you, but at the same time, like there was probably a lot of deep-rooted subconscious fears that you had for yourself of like, can
Oh,
I actually do
yes.
this? Am I
Yes.
actually worthy of, embarking on this new path?
100%. Absolutely. And I think that's why I would be interested in those conversations because it was really like a time for me to get clear on how strong I was and how confident
Mm-hmm.
I was in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I would use that as time to be like, yeah, like prove to not that person, but actually to me to know
100%.
that I can do it.
Yeah. So now, Erica, in 2024, how do your friends and family view you? Like, do you still have people in your inner circle that are just like, oh, Erica, yeah, her like woo-woo weird shit, you know? How do they view you?
My dad calls it voodoo.
Voodoo, love it.
He'd be like, I guess your voodoo shit's working for you. That's what he'll say. Like he's just so not aware
Yeah.
of what I'm really practicing, but he's very, very proud of me. And he
Mhm.
sees a lot of what I created by starting this. So he's really excited and proud. My mom's very happy as well. They don't ask many questions. They're just like so happy that everything's going well. Like that's all they want to know. Things are going well. Awesome. My grandparent, yeah, like that's it. Like it's just accepting this is me, just like you said, like with your parents, like
Yeah.
this is me. This is where I'm meant to be. And honestly, I a really big driving force that helped me to make this shift is this idea of how short our lifetime is here. And I don't think I just wasn't willing to live with the regret of being, I don't know, like 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, and being like, damn, I wish I gave myself a shot. Like, I just didn't want to live with that. And exactly what you said, like looking around and seeing other people do it, for me, it was inspiration more than like jealousy
Mm-hmm.
because I I wanted to like I would look at them and be like, if they can do it, why can't I do it? Like it's working for them. And that's so inspiring. And if I just stay focused, if I put my all into this, I feel I'm meant to do it. It could work for me too. So, yeah.
Mm. Choosing the light and not choosing the darkness.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
guess what? Like, I would also say if it didn't work out, I could always be a teacher again. Like, yes, I
yeah.
lost my tenure. Yes, like I lost the job or I left the job in the amazing school district that so many people would want to be. I get it. Like, I know I had a lot at stake to lose. But if I was meant to get another teaching job, then it would find me. Like it's a really big trust fall. And,
Yeah.
and then you don't fall. You really soar by following what your soul's really encouraging you to do and what it's meant to do.
Yeah, you're flying. 100%. And I mean, family can be very, very tough. I've had best friends of mine who thought, what the fuck is she doing? And now 3 years later, they're coming around to the things that I've been telling them to do for years, which is so Virgo of me. I'm like, you should do this. It's going to change your life. No, 3 years later, oh my gosh. And you're just like, okay, okay, let me just pause, breathe. Like, good for you. But I loved what you said about acceptance because
Yeah.
as long as they love and support and can accept you, they don't have to understand. You understand.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about you. This is your journey. You are here to, yeah, just show people what is possible through your joy and through your light,
Yeah.
which is what you do. So, your husband, you guys are the best. Oh my gosh, the content, you guys, please go to Erica's Instagram. She and her husband, Vinny, are hysterical, but you both are so different.
Yeah.
So, like, what is that like? Because I know for sure he's not doing these meditations with you unless you're forcing him, which I've seen the videos and
I
I'm
wish.
crying laughing because they're so funny.
Yeah, I want to force it more, but acceptance.
Mm,
Um, yeah, we're definitely different. It's interesting. He is a very evolved soul, and
mm,
he is a teacher to me in so many ways. I've learned so much from him. So although like you see this goofy guy on Instagram, his soul is like so pure and
mm,
very evolved in the sense of just his perspective, his mindset, his purity, his pureness.
mm,
So he's taught me so much in that way. And yeah, it's interesting because the beginning of our relationship was built on truly being like the two partiers of the group. Like I was very wild and loved to have a good time. And he was the same on his side of the friend group. And it's so interesting because soon as we got married, he became sober. I had a spiritual awakening. But it was really interesting how the journey was very parallel, but not at all because of one another.
mm,
He would always say in the beginning, like, I notice you're drinking less. Like, I know you don't drink because now I'm sober. And it actually wasn't that at all. It was me having a spiritual awakening and just not needing it in the way that I felt I once did. And it's just pretty wild how parallel it was. And we've really just grown together on this path, even though our paths look so different. But I also think in a relationship, like you always have those opposite energies in your
mhm.
partner. And if I could just be really neat and clean, I would be like the best wife in the world to him. But I'm not really capable of that. I try very hard. It's
Yeah,
like I'm just so airy. Like I'm like, this could
yeah.
be done later. Like why it's gorgeous out. Why would I spend time cleaning when I could just like float around on the beach, you know?
Oh my gosh, I wish.
So yeah, it's the differences that really are the mirror of like where we need
Mhm.
to grow, where we could grow and expand. And I think that we do that for each other. And it's fun. And some days it's like, oh my God, if I hear him complain one more time about how messy the kitchen is, like, are you kidding me? But other than
Yeah.
that, it's a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like you both are like you're on the same frequency,
Yeah.
but you're still so different at the same
I
time, which
know.
is so cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like you don't have to be going through the exact same thing as someone to
No.
attract someone on the same frequency.
Yeah, and I would say that to him a lot. Like I love meditation and breath work. I would love for you to practice because it offers us so much.
Hmm.
But he doesn't need what I need.
Yeah.
And I still think it could benefit him. But he like no, you don't know what anyone else needs other than for yourself. And when he's guided to it, I'm so optimistic. And when that will happen,
Hmm.
that will be his time to experience it.
Yeah. To each their
Maybe he'll
own.
care less about like the mess if you meditate more, it really chills you out.
Yes, 100%. Especially lately, I've realized I'll get up in the morning and it's like I have to be productive before I let myself meditate. And I'm like, no, I literally have to be like a drill sergeant with myself. I'm like, Rebekah, no, you don't have to put away these dishes. You don't have to put away the laundry. You can just sit. But it's so tough for me. Like it's just ingrained in me with like being a Virgo and my human
Yeah.
design. And I'm like, this is why we need, well, I don't need anything. Let me say that. We don't need anything, but it's so helpful to
Yeah.
just remind myself, like, you're worthy and you can just sit down, even if it's for 10 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, like you said. You started with a 3-minute practice.
Yes.
So now how long are your practices?
I would say consistently, I need minimum of 30.
Mm,
I shouldn't say that, but I'm a teacher and I hold that with
mm,
a really high responsibility. So when I say that, I don't want any listener who's a beginning meditator to measure themselves up against me because I hold space for a lot of people
Right.
energetically. And I just take it as a really big responsibility that I have to make sure I take care of myself. And in order, I want to be an open channel for others and for the collective and just receive information that's for the highest good. In order for me to really do that, I need a minimum of 30 minutes. I dream about an hour. If I wake up early enough before my dog Bam Bam, because he is the bossiest little guy you'll ever meet in your life.
Mm,
But yeah, if I wake up early enough, I would love 45 minutes to an hour, but it's like 30 minutes is really solid for me. I get to that space where I really connect. I feel it in every cell in my body. Like today after my practice, I felt like a vibrating ball of cells walking through my home after. Like, and I'm like, how cool is this? If only everyone could experience what it feels like to literally vibrate after your meditation. Like, who wouldn't want to start their day like this? You
yeah,
know?
totally. And to end this off, I just want to share with everyone, and I know that you preach this all the time, and so do I. It's like just follow your bliss and follow your joy. We all have this inner generator within us. I now I'm like talking in terms of human design, but really it's all about what you find expansive, what you
Yes.
find blissful and joyful, because just like we've talked about in this episode, your Kundalini is going to be someone else's astrology or someone
Yep.
else's what's it, EFT tapping, or like there are a million
Yep.
things out there. So
Yes.
try, be open, experiment, let the divine work through you, and you will find your thing. And
Yeah,
then you'll just want to run with the wolves. Like,
exactly.
yeah.
So true.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us all,
You're
for sharing your
welcome.
light and your wisdom and your intelligence with us. Anything else that you would love to share about you, the platform, your members, what's upcoming for Evolve?
I have a lot of exciting things upcoming. Nothing that's officially launched yet,
Okay.
but I have hundreds of meditations starting at 3 minutes to 60 minutes. I would love to give your listeners a free month if you'd like to share that with them.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll give you a link and you can put it in the
Okay.
show notes.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yes.
Yeah, so they can access that if they want to try. And of course, everyone can follow along at incal.xcal on Instagram, TikTok. Otherwise, the website's Evolved by Erika, Erika with a K.
Yay. Thank you so much. I love you so
I
much.
love you. Thank you
Amazing.
so much for having me.
And I cannot wait to meet you in person so
I
soon.
know.
Oh,
Can't
it's going
wait.
to be amazing. Well, thank you everyone for listening to the Joyride podcast, and I will see you in the next one.